Jancek. Hi, Pete.
Morning, Bart.
Morning, Pete.
Morning.
I'm glad you're here because we've been talking about Gilbert's Steakhouse on the show for the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's going to be torn down.
It is.
That'll be nice.
That'll be nice.
It's been an eyesore.
Bart has been interested in the Gilbert's Steakhouse location since Gilbert's closed.
Yeah, the interest that bought the hotel behind it, he purchased that property as well, and he plans to demolish that and possibly put in an additional hotel in that area in the future. But unfortunately, that poor building, the previous gentleman that was supposed to make a go of it didn't quite do what he planned on doing, and the man that owned it did put almost $1 million into it, and it suffered so much damage inside that he got to a point where he just couldn't afford to invest anymore. So.
How big is that total property there?
I'm not sure exactly what it is now, but the bulk of that property belonged to the Gilberts building.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that big parking lot behind it and to the side of it and everything.
So it looks like there's people working on the Hampton Inn.
Yes, yeah, they're going through and renovating it and whatnot. So
Very nice.
yes.
Yeah, that'll be great for that side of the highway too.
Right.
A lot of people coming into Michigan Sports Facility. A lot of people coming in town. That's going to be
Yeah,
great.
and the Red Lobster's right there,
course.
so that way there's another venue available to stay there right close where you have restaurants and whatnot. And now that the sidewalk connects all the way around, if you just walk across the 127 bridge there, you can get on the sidewalk and walk right to Boardman or up to Myers, any of those areas. So.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that there's that tunnel underneath.
Right, the pedestrian tunnel.
Yeah.
Yep, makes it much safer.
That brings to mind another abandoned restaurant that has been prominent in the township, and that's the old Todorof's. Anything happening with that?
Not that I'm aware of. I hear that there's some interest with somebody wanting to come in there, but we haven't been contacted that I know of at the township yet. And that would be wonderful to get somebody in there and have that a viable property again.
Yes, there's some rumors that a burger and
Really?
fries place is interested.
Really?
Yes.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah,
I had
that'd
not.
be nice.
I had not yet heard that.
It would.
Pete, I know you're a history buff, so I wanted to ask you this. Blackman Township was part of the territory of Jackson until 1857, when it was organized into a township. The first settler in the territory was who?
Horace Blackman.
Well, the first settler,
Settler in the
township, Lyman Pease. How about that?
Wow.
You didn't know that, did you?
Well,
Well, that's after it went from Blackman Township. It was part of the Jackson territory until 1857, and then it was organized. So 1830 would have been Lyman Pease.
Okay.
Yeah.
they might have been on the same stagecoach.
I got that off the Blackman Township website.
Right. Right. Well, in the history by DeLand is amazing. I actually have one of the original copies that our deputy treasurer's grandmother gave to him, and it goes into great detail, telling you what day so-and-so crossed the river with his family and came into different areas in Jackson, settlers here. And when you look at the names in there, you understand why certain roads are named the way they are and whatnot, because it's all the folks that started this whole territory.
Yeah.
So.
To your point, the history is detailed, even down to the hour on some of these decisions.
It is, yeah.
Yep. How many bottles of hooch?
Just about. It's pretty detailed. It is, yeah.
Now, here's something I thought that you could use to market Blackman Township. It is, according to the latest census data that we have, it is the place to go if you're a young lady looking for a man.
Really?
Because, yes. The population of the township is 25,631. Average age 39. 61% male, 35% female, and 35% married. 35% married. So that means that there are 10,162 eligible bachelors in Blackman Township.
Eligible.
I'm not. My wife
Eligible.
wouldn't be amused by that.
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. So you're saying maybe a singles club should open in Blackman Township. Exciting things going on. Marinos Park area. I know people are excited to hear a little bit about what Blackman's doing.
Yeah,
with that.
what we're doing there is, as you know, we've gotten the trail around the front portion across the old B&H property and across the front of the soccer field there. At last month's board meeting, we approved a bid to have a pavilion built back there. So within the next few months, that should arrive and be erected, and that'll be in the area of where the water tower is there next to it. Also, last year we ordered the concrete vault toilets, similar to what we have down at Rod Mills, and county, I believe, has a couple of installations as well. And those are supposed to be installed sometime this summer as well. So we're continuing to work on that, and what we're trying to do is, as you know, the Marinos is going to be our new public safety building, and we're trying to make sure that everything for the park and the athletic offerings there blends with the public safety. And so what we've done is we're trying to make sure the layout doesn't impede either one, and that we don't unintentionally put in a parking lot that we just have to cut a notch through to add utilities or something later. So those are some of the things that are in the works as far as developing that, continuing to develop that property.
We've got, two really main streets that are show places now in the township. County Farm Road, what an incredible
Amazing.
Transformation. And with the Jackson Technology Park North, I understand that there's some more news about that.
There is. Midbrook, they have approximately 13 acres, and they're about 3/4 of the way through their construction. And then we have another local business entity here that purchased about 13 acres directly across from them, and they plan on putting up a 90,000 square foot building there as well. And also Ronnie John Cox has the same contractor, I believe it's going to be O'Hara, he's going to be putting up some additional buildings on his properties across the street. So we got a lot going on out there, and the Accelerate Jackson continues to market that. Over the race weekend, they had out-of-state site selectors and whatnot in town for the race, and took them around the whole county and showed them different sites and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
We were all together at the Home Builders Picnic yesterday. It's a good reminder of how many quality contractors, builders, service providers we have here.
It is. And the thing is, what's nice to see is you see some of the folks who've been doing this for decades and aren't as active as they used to be, because they're, such as myself, we're just not as young as we used to be. But and then it's good to see younger folks there as well, because that's one of the areas that really took a hit during the recession, was the skilled trades, because there was such a reduction in business that the masters were the ones that had to be doing all the work. They couldn't afford to have apprentices because there just wasn't the work. So we kind of lost a whole generation of apprentices.
Yeah.
So we're trying hard to get back to that point.
Yeah,
so.
I know the manufacturing community is working hard as well.
Correct. Yep.
It was nice to see all the government officials at that
It was.
picnic, and it demonstrated to me there's a lot of cooperation. It's easier now for people to get projects done because there's a lot of great cooperation with the entities.
It is, and that's the thing, is that we like to early on, not just as Blackman, but even with the other agencies, we like to have people sit down at the beginning before you get started, just to make sure that you have your vision fits, what you can do. We don't want to unnecessarily spend money on things that government has to tell you later, well, if you would ask, you can't quite do that where you want to do it. So it just makes it better for everybody. So.
Awesome. Pete, well, thanks so much for stopping by and visiting us, and continued good things happening out to Blackman Township.
Thank you. It's always great to be here. keep up the great work of documenting Jackson and our history.
We will. Thank you,
Thank you.
very much. Pete Jancek, Supervisor at Blackman Township. Coming up next, my Zoom interview with actor and comedian Tommy Davidson.